Good afternoon to people from Hong Kong, Singapore, and Sydney. And good morning to people in London, Paris, and Milan. Welcome to Finance Mandarin, the Beauty of Chinese Character, ESG live event. I am Tara. Now you are watching from Finance Mandarin's social media channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and private Zoom link. Firstly, I thank you all for joining us from different parts of the world. In this episode of The Beauty of Chinese Characters, we will explore the theme of ESG in China. Let me put this on full screen mode. All right. There is a famous quote by President Xi on ESG. 绿水青山就是金山银山. What does it mean? What impact does it have on China? Today, Vienne Li, the CEO of Finance Mandarin, and Yves Wang, a Chinese literature expert, will explain the stories and philosophy of ESG in China. First of all, I would like to introduce you to Vienne Li, the CEO of Finance Mandarin. Vienne has over 20 years of experience serving the finance and legal sectors in Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Beijing. She originates and designs comprehensive training for executive leaders to strengthen their Chinese language foundation and enhance their market intelligence. Let's welcome Vienne to say hi to us.
Hi, welcome to the Finance Mandarin live event. Today is the Beauty of Chinese Character, ESG focus. This is our 8th time of the series, The Beauty of Chinese Characters. And also this is one of Finance Mandarin's signature courses. We love languages and we love cultures. We embrace the difference. Today, we would like to bring out some hidden treasures to you today. Thanks for our team to put all this together and bring the great value to our students, our alumni, and our friends. Stay tuned. Get back to you, Tara.
Thank you, Vienne. Now we are very privileged to have our VIP speaker for today's topic, Yves Wang. Yves is a Mandarin language expert with 10 years of Mandarin teaching experience. She is passionate about looking for the root and beauty of the Chinese language. She obtained her bachelor's degree in teaching English as a second language from Beijing Normal University and got her master's degree from Beijing Language and Culture University. Hello, Yves Wang. Nice to meet you again.
Hello, Tara. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. And I'm Yves. I'm from Beijing, but now I'm in Yunnan province. And it's great to be here to share all the stories about Chinese characters.
Thank you, Yves. Last but not least, we also have a great team that helped organize this event, Carrie and Jenny. Let's welcome Carrie and Jenny to say hi to us.
Hi, I'm Carrie from Finance Mandarin, and I'm specialized in content marketing. I'm a native Mandarin speaker, and I'm passionate about language as well. Thank you all for joining this live event.
Hi, I'm Jenny from marketing team of Finance Mandarin. I can speak Korean, English fluently, but I'm also eager to learn Chinese as well. Thank you all for participating in our live event.
Thank you, Carrie and Jenny. It seems that everyone is very excited to learn Chinese today. So without further ado, I will pass the time to Yves Wang to start her sharing.
Okay, so today our topic is ESG. Actually, this concept is quite new in mainland China. So first of all, we will explain for each word what is E and what is S, what is G in Chinese, what is the Chinese word and characters, and the important radicals in those characters. And I will mention this famous sentence, 绿水青山就是金山银山. And an ancient Chinese concept is 天人合一, the unity of human and heaven. And at last, if we have time, I will talk about the story of Alibaba's ant forest. So what is ESG? 什么是 ESG 呢? So there are 3 parts, right? For E, environment, in Chinese we say 环境. And for S, social responsibility, we say 社会责任. And for G, governance, we say 公司治理. Or for short, you can say 治理. So next one. Let's look at environmental first. Still next one. Next one, Tara. Yeah, last one. For 环境, environment, and you can look at these two characters. Actually, later we will discuss more about each one and the radical for each character. But now just remember 环境 is environment. And normally when we mention this topic, we will say 环保 here, environmental protection, 环保. So, you know, 环 is 环境, environment. What is 保? 保 is protect, to protect something. 保护, 保护. So we pick 环 from 环境 and we pick 保 from 保护 and put them together. There's this new word 环保, 环保. It's quite a popular word. Next one. So Tara, do you know why I put this picture here? Actually, before we mentioned this picture is for all the radicals of related to human beings. So can you guess why I put this here? What's the relationship between this one and 环保 or 环境, environment?
I think the radicals for each of the Chinese characters is related to the body parts. Am I right?
Yes, actually look at the radical of hands and action. This one, hands and action. And look at the radical of human being. So Tara, show us the last slide, the last one again. The one with 环境. Can you show us? Yes. So now let's look at this word again. 保护, 保护. You can see the radical on the left. This one means what? Can you remember? Just now we showed you is for human being. And for this one on the left, the radical means your hands. So means you use your hands to do something, your action. So together, 保护, that means protection, to protect something is the action of human being to do. For human being, you have to take actions. So that is the word of 环保. For this picture, actually, we have a lot of things to talk about, but I think in the future, we will mention it. So let's continue. Next one. Okay, still 环境. Still last one. 环境. Yeah. You remember, right? It's environment or environmental. So look at the character here for 静, 静. On the left is the radical. This radical is also a character, 土, 土. Here, you can see here. 土 means earth or soil. Actually, before we have this special topic of these 5 basic elements in this Chinese tradition. It's very important. The concept is very important. And all these 5 elements are very important. For each character, it can become radical. And with each radical, we have many characters. So here on this page, we can see the radical of 土, earth. So 境 is something related to place, to the area. So it has the radical of 土. And also here, how to say planet Earth? Planet Earth is 地球. 地球. 地 means the earth, the land. So 球 means what? 球 means a ball. Okay. 球, a ball. Together, 地球 is planet Earth. Just here show you two characters with the same radical of 土. Actually, it's a review because we mentioned this before and I talked about it a lot. So next one.
Before we move on, I think Jenny has a question on 环境. So Jenny, would you like to ask the question?
Hi, thank you. Eve, I'm quite interested about the radical. So if you look at Huan, the first character, with my beginner Chinese level, it's Wang and Bu, right? Combining word. So it seems like these two characters are quite unrelated. Do you know why these are combined to form a word?
Okay, very good questions. First of all, this Huan is a simplified Chinese character. And if you look at the traditional Chinese character of Huan, you will see on the left is still this radical, and on the right is a totally different part. And that part will show you the pronunciation of this character. And on the left, this radical is related to the meaning, and later we will mention this radical. So for now, I can just tell you because it's a simplified character, so you cannot see much meaning of it now. And then actually, this is the main problem for us to learn Chinese characters, because actually for each one, it has the root, the deep meaning. But for simplified characters, many of them have lost the original meaning. Yeah, so it will cause us some trouble to explain it or to remember it.
I see. Thank you.
All right, so now let's move on.
Okay, still talk about the environment. There is this topic we are all very familiar. Is 全球变暖, global warming, especially for this year, right? And that's why I'm in Yunnan now, because in Beijing, 在北京 is too hot. 太热了. So 全球变暖 is how to say global warming. 球, we just mentioned it. Remember in the word Earth, 地球, planet Earth, 地球. So 全 means whole, global, the whole world, 全球. 变暖, 变 is a verb, means to become, change. And 暖 is a difficult character here, right? Around this, in these four characters is the difficult one. But we can see there are two parts on the left and on the right. The radical is on the left, and we mentioned it before. It's 日. 日 means the sun. And this is a radical and also an important character. So we have many characters related to it. It has the meaning of, the character with this radical has the meaning related to the sun, to time, to warm, to light. So obviously this one 暖 is related to the sun, the warmth. So anyone can tell me anything about this part, the part on the right? Because I just explained the part on the left is the radical. So can you guess what is this on the right? Because it looks a little bit difficult, not so simple. Anyone?
I'll have a guess. Is it I? To love or to like? It must be similar, I think.
Oh, great. Okay, first of all, on the right is quite similar to I, to the character of love, right? But actually it's not. But you can see they have the similar pronunciation. One is one is I. So they both have this I inside. So actually on the right is also a character, but now we don't use it so much, but it becomes a part in many characters, and it represents the pronunciation. It will give you a hint of the pronunciation. This character itself actually has the pronunciation of I, yeah, and sometimes has the pronunciation of one. So you can later you will see other characters with this part and has similar pronunciation. Anyway, in one word, for many Chinese characters, one part will show you the pronunciation and one part will show you the meaning. That is 暖. Okay, next one. So, talk about the environment. There will be the topic of carbon, and how to say it is 碳. And actually for President Xi, he has mentioned this 3 time points. Actually 2 of them are quite more important, and we all know it. One is by 2030, we have to get this peak carbon. In Chinese, we call it 碳达峰. 碳达峰, it's really a new word. So 碳 means carbon, 峰 means peak, the peak of a mountain. So can you guess what's the meaning of 达? It's a verb.
To reach.
Yes. Who answered? 达 means to reach, to attain something. You get to some place. So that means you reach the peak of this area. Okay. And by 2060, we have to reach this carbon how to read this? Neutrality. So we call it 碳中和. 碳中和. 碳 again is carbon, and 中和 means neutrality, to neutralize something. Neutralize. And 中和, I think for H1 is quite simple. 中, just the 中国, China, the same 中. And also 中 means middle, in the center. And 和 is more simple, like you and me, 你和我. And peace, 和平, right? So that is 碳中和. Any questions? 有问题吗 with this part? If not, we will continue to talk about 碳. Let's look at next one. 下一章, 碳, carbon. So for this character, we can see mainly there are two parts on the left and on the right. And the right part is also a character, and it has the same pronunciation, tan. Can you guess the meaning of the right? No. Okay, it's quite similar to carbon. Is how to pronounce it? Is C-O-A-L. Coal. Coal, right? And if you put a radical on the left, it becomes another character with the same pronunciation, tan, but different meaning is carbon. So here I want to mention this radical of shi on the left. It's also a character. Shi means stone. Here we can see this involving progress of this character, shi, stone. Actually, this radical is also a very basic one, and I prepared one class to tell you more stories about this radical. Maybe in the future I will show you. Just remember now, this radical means stones, 石, and in modern Chinese we say 石头, 石头. In ancient Chinese we just say 石. So can anyone tell me why? So what's the you can tell me what's the meaning of 头 here in this word, and why in modern Chinese it becomes
Tara, I think it's a job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a connection problem with Eve Wang. So, Vienne, do you have any explanation on the word 石头 or the question that she asked just now? Do you have an explanation?
Definitely, we have all the answer here. If you're back now, right?
Yes, I don't know.
Let's carry on. Yes, carry on. And no problem at all. We always had a crisis management, and we have always alternative plan. No worry. Eve, carry on.
Okay. Does anyone answer me the question why there is a toe in this word of stone, and why in modern Chinese we say 石头, and in ancient Chinese we just say 石?
Toe means head, right? Like head.
Yes, great.
But I'm not actually sure how head can be related to carbon in a word.
Okay, very good. 头 means your head, but here in this word, it means nothing. It's just a part to complete the word. Because in modern Chinese, most words are with two characters. But in ancient Chinese, one character is enough. So with each character, it has a complete meaning, a whole meaning. But in modern Chinese, you have to put something to complete the word. So that's why we have 石头, we have 馒头, we have blah blah头, blah blah头. So many 头 by the end of a word. It doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning, just to complete the modern Chinese word. Okay. Also 子, you know, 子 like 孩子, 饺子, 桌子, 椅子. 子 has a meaning, means a child, but in the word it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. Okay, just to complete a word. That's all. Okay, let's see next one. 我们看下一个啊。Continue to talk about environment or environmental 环境 here. Don't forget this word for environment 环境. So We have to mention another word is energy. 能源，能源 is energy. 能, I wonder if you are familiar with this character 能, like 我能说汉语. 能 means you can do something, right? 我能, 我可以, 我会说汉语. 我会说汉语, 我能说汉语. Quite similar. That's the same character of 能 means you can do something. And yuan means the source, the resource of something. Yuan. Here, let's look at this character. Still two parts, right? Left and right. Just now, we mentioned for many characters, one part will show you the meaning. The other part will show you the pronunciation, right? So this one is the typical one. On the left is the radical of water, the radical of water, 水, for 3 points. And on the right is also a character with the pronunciation of yuan, so together becomes this character in 能源, energy. And there are some words we always mention when we talk about energy. First one, 清洁能源, clean energy. 清洁能源. Actually, for clean, we have several words to say in Chinese for clean. Here we use 清洁, it's a quite formal one. And you can see they have the same radical with yuan, right? These 3 points. So 清洁. By the way, for this 清, we will mention it later. Okay, we will see it again. And the second one, green energy, is 绿色能源. 绿色能源. 色 means what, everyone?
Is that about color?
Yes, 色 itself means color. And for 绿 means green. Just now we mentioned for modern Chinese, normally we put 2 characters. So instead of just saying 绿, we have to say 绿色. That's why you cannot say 绿能源. And you have to say 绿色能源. But with this rule, there's always some exceptions, right? So that's why I showed you the third one is new energy, 新能源. 新能源. 新 means new, right? You can say 2 characters for new, like 新型能源, new tap energy. But you can also say 新能源. So because if there's a rule, there's always be some exceptions. This is one. 新能源. Okay, for this page, any questions? 有问题吗? No, just remember I show you all these words to let you know the radical of water. Actually, we mentioned this before, and remember those 5 elements, 5 elements and 5 characters, 5 radicals. We will always see it. Actually, for today's topic, it's like a review of our last topic of this 5 elements. Next one. 下一个.
Right. I think Jenny has a question about green, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's about the stock market. That so Jenny, would you mind to rephrase your question to Eve Wang?
Yes. In the Western and also Korean culture, red kind of connotates like negativities. And if you look at those 2 pictures, like New York Stock Exchange, like price going down represents the red color. But if you look at Shanghai Stock Exchange, like China stock, when to indicate price going up, they use a red color. instead of green. So I don't know why it's like different.
Okay. Actually, it's a cultural difference question or problem, right? It's about the cultural difference. 叫什么文化差异？文化差异。In China, the color of red, 红色 normally represents something good, positive, energetic, auspicious, happy. Blah blah blah. Anything you can think good, okay? That is red. We even have this saying, Chinese red, 中国红. And like during Spring Festival or on your birthday, many people will wear in red. And in wedding ceremony, yeah, traditional Chinese will wear in red, and that's really a cultural difference. If you wear in white, like Western style, in some places it is not good. Okay, so back to our topic for this stock market, right? For red, I already explained, red is good in China. And for green, actually, everyone around the world, when you see green, you feel peace, peaceful, you feel calm, right? So for the stock, it goes down. It will make you feel depressed. And if you see green, it will calm you down, okay? Can you understand my point? So first of all, red is good in China. We have this concept of China red, Chinese red. And second, psychologically, if you see green color, green, it will smooth you, will makes you feel peaceful. Although your stock, I don't know this part, okay. I guess it will make you feel depressed or nervous or something, but this color will has its energy to calm you down.
It's interesting to see how different culture have different perspective towards colors. All right, so now let's continue to move on to our topic.
Yeah.
So we stopped at here just now. All right, so environment. So back to you, Eve.
We are here. All right, back to environment, 环境. So another point is about this recycling. In Chinese, we say 回收. And recent years in China, we have this 垃圾分类, garbage classification. Actually, I know in many countries, like in Japan, in Korea, they already have this for many years, right? And they have quite strict laws about this. But in China, we just have it for in recent years. We began to do it, and it's 垃圾分类. Let's look at this phrase. 垃圾 means garbage. These two together, 垃圾. And 分类 means to classify something. 分 means to divide, to divide something. And 类, anyone can tell me what's the meaning of 类? 类.
Maybe lay is like categories, like different categories.
Oh, very good. Like in which word? We can use 类 in which word?
类别.
Ah, good, but easier one, a very easy one. How to say human being?
种类. 人类.
人类, good. Okay, 人类. So it's one kind of being, right? One type, one kind of being, human being, 人类, the same 类, okay? And 垃圾, let's look at the radical on the left. We just mentioned it, right? It's the radical of 土. 土 means the soil or the earth, right? So the meaning is quite simple, right? Why we have the radical of soil in this word, 垃圾, 垃圾, garbage. And let's look at this character. I want to say a little bit more. 回, 回. Can you give me some examples of how to use this character? 回. 回.
回家.
Oh, good. Yeah, to back home. So you can see this character is quite interesting, right? Like these two square. So originally it's like two circles. So 回, it has the meaning of recycling at the very beginning. Although now we use it more as go back, back home. But you look at this one, there are two circles, right? So originally it has the meaning of recycle. Okay, any questions? If not, we will continue. 我们就继续.
Okay, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah. Just now Jenny asked a question about 环, right? Look at this 环 again. 环境 means environment or environmental. And just now I said for this character 环 is a simplified character. And the traditional one is different, right? So let's look at the radical on the left. The radical is the same. It doesn't change. So I think most foreigners who learn Chinese will learn this radical at the very beginning. Is Wang. Wang means the king, the king of something. So there is the very popular kind of teaching to tell you why this character looks like this. Do you know? Anyone know why Wang? There are 3 strokes plus 1. What's the meaning? There is a popular saying, help foreigners to remember this character. Does anyone know? Oh, okay, then I will say it. So Wang, for these 3 strokes, right? It represents the heaven, the earth, and in the middle is the human world. So the heaven, 天, the earth, 地, and the human world, 人间. And then for this stroke is to connect these 3 areas. Okay, 3 worlds or 3 areas. So the king is someone who can connect the heaven, the earth, and the human world. Okay, I heard many Chinese teachers told this story to their foreign students, help them to remember this character. Wang is also my family name, Wang. But today we are going to learn something quite similar. It's Yu. Yu means jade. This very important stone, or how to say, jewelry in Chinese culture. Yu. And you can see here on the left the evolving process of Yu. Actually, once upon a time, these 2 characters looked quite similar. The jade and the king, right? Can you see? The jade and the king, they look quite similar. So for Chinese characters, we have many characters have the radical like Huan on the left. This radical is jade, is not king. Can you understand? I repeat. So like the character Huan on the left, this radical, it looks like king Wang, but actually the meaning is jade. Okay, you understand? Actually, for many Chinese people, they don't know this. And now you know why this king actually is jade, because in the history, they look quite similar. So for those characters with the radical of jade, they all had the relationships with jade, like Huan. So now let's continue to answer Jenny's question. Why this character of Huan is like this? Because on the left is jade, and on the right now is a simplified part, but the traditional one will show you the meaning. And Huan, look at this small picture, okay? It's a traditional jade, and it has this ring, how to say, this form of ring, like a ring. So Huan, basically, it means a ring. So what is Huanjing? It means the area around you, like a ring around you. That is Huanjing, environment. So actually, I don't know if you know this point before. If you have watched the 2008 Olympic, in China, we have this, how to say 奖牌? 金牌, medal, okay. Medal, the Chinese style medal, if you remember, they use this design of traditional jade. So one side is gold or silver, and the other side will just be this kind of jade, like a ring. Okay. For this part, any questions? 有问题吗? It's a little bit difficult, but I think it's interesting because even for Chinese people, many of them, they don't know actually this radical is not king, it's jade. Okay. 是玉. Okay, let's move on. But just now, all we talk about is about environment. Again, how to say environment? 环境. But ESG, finally, let's look at S, social. Social is a 社会. Actually, I think for the concept of ESG, we should say 社会责任, social responsibility, right? Because social society is quite a big topic. Here actually is 社会责任, social responsibility. For these two characters, I want to mention this radical on the left. Let's look at 社, and there are two parts. On the left is the radical. On the right of 社, again, this character, can you read, is 土, right? 土 means soil and earth. We've met it for many times for today. And on the left, I think it's a little bit strange for many people. So let's look at the first picture. Can anyone guess what is this? The drawing, what is this? Like a T, like a letter T. What's this?
Is that a table? A symbol.
Good. It's like a table. Simple answer, but correct. It's a table, but not a normal table. It's an altar. You know, altar, right? Altar. A table, you put offerings on it. You offer something. You do sacrifice, right? You do some ceremony. So originally, this character means this altar to do offering and sacrifice. This character, the pronunciation is shi. Actually, today we still use it in many words. And as a radical, it can become a radical. As a radical, it has the meaning of sacrifice, offering, auspicious, to show something, to reveal something, all because the original character means the altar. So let's look at shi. So an altar plus a bunch of soil. It means what? Can you guess? There's an altar and the soil. You can see this. The first one here, the drawing is like some soil. Okay, this is really hard. Actually, for this character of shi, originally it means the deity of soil, the god of soil, of the earth, of the land god. Makes sense, right? And then gradually it has the meaning of the place. You do sacrifice, you do offerings to the land, the god of land, the land god, a place. So you can imagine in ancient times, so in what kind of situation do people gather together to do something? When they do some ceremony, when they do some sacrifice, they will gather together to do this, to do this ceremony. So I think many students want me to explain the word of 社会, why it is like this, what's the meaning of 社, and it's a little bit deep. It means a place you do sacrifice, and because in ancient times people do this, they will gather together. Originally they just live their own lives. But during this situation, on this situation, they will gather together. So that is how our society generates. You understand? Otherwise, people will just live their own lives. They don't need to be together. That is 社会. Let's look at next one. Okay, continue to look at this radical. It's a 是, as a character, the pronunciation is 是, and as a radical, it has the meaning of to show something, to reveal something, and has the relationship with God, with deities, with sacrifice. So let's look at these two, 祝 and 福. 祝 and 福. I think for 祝, anyone can give me an example how to use 祝?
Like 庆祝.
庆祝 happy birthday, 祝你生日快乐. 祝 is to wish you something. And 福, blessing, 福. This one is a typical Chinese culture, right? During Spring Festival, we will write this character and put it, paste it on the door, right? 福means blessing, to bless something. And for this character below, hello? this character below, God, 神. 神 means God or deities. So look at the very beginning, the first one of this character. On the left is the radical. So on the right is what? Can you guess? The meaning is God. Okay? On the left is the radical. On the right is what? You look at the part on the right. Can you guess?
Is it similar to the dragon?
No. A good guess. 猜得很好，但不是啊。Something
It looks
related
like
to
fire.
fire. Oh, close. One more answer. Okay, it's the lightning. It's the lightning. Okay, so in ancient times, people don't understand what it is. So they guess maybe it's some deities or God. That's why on the right is the lightning and it represents the God. Okay, next one. 下一个. Still this radical. For these two characters, we use them a lot for 礼物, present and gift, 礼物. But for this one itself, it means right or how to say propriety, you know, to have pride, to be polite, that is 礼. And for this one, 祖先, ancestor, it also has the same radical. I think for now you should understand why they have this radical, right? Because it's all they all related to offer something, to do the sacrifice. 下一个. Okay. Finally, let's look at governance. Governance, we say 公司治理. Actually, 治理 is to govern something. Governance. And we can also say 管理 or 治理. 公司 means company. I put this picture here and this phrase 大禹治水 as a story to show you why the character of 治 to govern, it has the radical of water, 水, right? On the left, 3 points, it means water. Because we have this story, this legend, 大禹 flood control, I will make it quite simple, okay? In ancient times, there is a great flood around the world, like in the Bible, right? The 洪水. And 大禹 is the name of a person, the hero. And he tried to govern the water, or to tame, T-A-M-E, the water. So he lead people to build many channels to lead the flood, the water into river, and lead the river into the sea. So that is why for 治 means to control something, to govern something, to tame something. There's this water radical inside. It's all about in this traditional Chinese legend of 大禹治水. Okay. Any questions? 有问题吗 this part? No. For ESG, most Chinese people around me, we are not so familiar about this abbreviation. But we know this, 可持续发展. I think they are quite similar. Sustainable development, and everyone knows it. 可持续发展. 发展 means development. 可持续, 持续 is sustain. 可 means 可以, you can, be able to. So 可持续 is sustainable. I mentioned this in case if you want to talk about ESG to Chinese people, but maybe they don't know what it is, you can mention this. 可持续发展. They will say, oh, I see. 可持续发展. Okay, 下一个, let's move on. Back to this famous sentence. 绿水青山就是金山银山. 绿 is green. 水, yeah, we talk too much about it. 绿水 green water. 青山, 青 is also green, but you know for green they have different kinds of green. So 青山 green mountains. 就是就 is like just, 是 is 金山 gold mountain, golden mountain, 银山 silvery, silver, 银山金山银山 they are invaluable assets. 绿水青山就是金山银山. 下一章. For the 5 elements, we also mentioned this, the Jin. Jin has 2 meanings. One is gold, golden. The other one means metal, all kinds of metals. So here, as a radical, you can see it in the character of yin. Yin is silver. Yin, I think last time we mentioned different banks, different names of banks. Can you give me some example of China's banks? How does it bank?
银行.
银行 Hang is like a place to do something. And yin is the ancient currency, right? Ancient currency like this. So 银行, 绿水青山就是金山银山. Again, let's review this radical here. This is the radical of gold and metal. You can also see it in the character of silver, yin, and yin like in 银行 bank, 银行. 下一个. Again, 水, 3 points. And for many characters, we have this radical, like in 海, sea, river, 河, 湖, lake. And I think for foreign students, at least they should remember this character and this radical. So you can see at the very beginning, it's just like a drawing of the water, many points and the flows. And then gradually it becomes like the modern character is 水. Move on. And then finally we have 山. 山 means mountain. And also it's one of the most, the simplest Chinese character. You can see why, right? Just like a drawing of the mountain. And for this character, when it becomes a radical, we have many characters. I show you below. We will not study them, okay? For many of them, I don't even know the meaning. But you can see how many characters we have. Now, still we have more. And the examples, one is island, 岛, island. You can see there's a small mountain inside. And the other one, 山崖, cliff. So for 崖, the mountain is on the top. It's 山崖. That is the character and the radical of mountain. 山, so 绿水青山就是金山银山.
Does anyone have any questions for this part?
Yes, here comes a question from our audience. They want to know why we use mountain and water to like Xi insert mountain and water as the assets in the speech. So what do mountain and water means to Chinese people?
Okay, water and mountain, they are this natural element, right? And I think not only for Chinese people, to human beings, it represents the nature, the great nature, water, trees, and mountains. And in China, we have the story of golden mountain, silvery mountain. I think in Western stories, they also had this, right? In the fairy tales. So the President Xi used this golden mountain, silvery mountain, he wants to show what is the real treasure. The real treasure is the great nature, the green water and the green mountain. If the water becomes gray, and if there's no trees on the mountain, they will lose the color of green. We just talk about the color of green, right? 绿色 to make you feel peaceful, to make you calm down. Then you will lose the treasure for a country, for our nation. It's like this.
Thank you, Eve Wang. So it's already now 5 p.m. and we already covered a lot of topics, such as the ESG in Chinese, and you also explained what is 环境, and then the story of 大禹治水 and 可持续发展, the sustainable development, and also you explained Xi Jinping's quote. That's very interesting. And I know you have already overrun, but no worries. For those who want to continue to explore the beauty of Chinese characters, you can feel free to stay back. And upcoming, we have the story of 天人合一 and also Alibaba's the Ant Forest story. So now I'll pass the time back to Eve Wang.
Okay, I'll make it quite simple. Okay, let's move on. There is this traditional concept. We say 天人合一, the unity of human and heaven. Only 4 characters, quite simple. 天, the heaven, the sky. 人, human being. 合, like together, to join together, union. 一, just one. Oneness. Next one. So, Tara, can you read it for us?
No worries. Heaven and human unity is an ancient Chinese philosophical concept elaborated by Confucianism, Tao, and Shu. The basic idea is that society phenomena such as physiology, ethics, and politics of humanity are direct reflections of nature. The Chinese medicine monograph Huang Di Nei Jing advocates the unity of heaven and mankind. It emphasizes that man corresponds to heaven and earth, is in harmony with the 4 seasons, and that man participates in heaven and earth.
Yeah, great. So 天人合一, heaven and human unity. You can find it in Taoism. You can find it in Confucianism. You can find it in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine series. So it's quite important in China. Let's move on. I will explain more. 天人合一. Now I want to show you these 2 characters because 天人and 一, they are all very simple. And for 合, a little bit difficult. And just now we mentioned 社会. I explained 社. Still remember it's the land god, right? And then the place to do the offerings, blah blah. And look at 会. If you observe these 2 characters, you will see they have the same part on the top, right? Just like this triangle on the left. Can you see this? This small picture triangle like this. So actually it's also a radical, but now it's not a character anymore, but it's also a radical. if you look at it, you will see the meaning. The 3 directions, from 3 directions and then join together. So that is the meaning of 和 and also the meaning of 会, right? 社会 means different people, they join together to do something with the same destination, same goal, right? And 和天人合一 heaven and human being unity. So for this triangle, this radical, it's related to union, to get together. Yeah, that's the idea of 天人合一. Next one. Finally, we have the story of ant forest, Alibaba's ant forest. We say 蚂蚁森林, 蚂蚁森林. Actually, it's an app, and we use it every day. If you have Alipay, you can find it in Alipay. Can you show me next one? Yeah, this is my Alipay, my ant forest. You can see actually it encourages people to live this green life, right? You gain the points by what? If you walk on foot, if you take public transportation like bus, like subway, like this sharing bags, and if you do recycling, and also if you pay online, they will all gain you this point. And if you accumulate enough points, you can plant trees. Plant trees on this app, right? And each time you plant a tree, a real tree will be planted in China. You can see the third picture. Yeah, your tree will have a number. Then you can check, where is my tree? Is this real? You really plant a tree for us, and it is real. So that is the simple story of ant forest, 蚂蚁森林. I think for most young people in China, in mainland China, we use it every day because we use Alipay every day. And it will, how to say, accumulate the point every day. You like or dislike it, it happens every day. So it's like a game, an online game with enough points. You can plant a tree, then there will be the real tree be planted. I show you this to show an example of ESG in China. I think for most companies, ESG is still a new concept. But for Alibaba, it has already worked on it for many years. And if you ask a young person what is ESG, they may not know, but actually it has been one part of their daily life for many years already. That's all, the story.
Thank you, Eve, for your sharing. That was very, very interesting. And now we get to know more about the Chinese characters. So that's the end for our event today. But before you leave, I humbly request you to follow Finance Mandarin on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So book your trial class now with us. Lastly, I thank you once again for joining us, and I hope to see you again in the future. Thank you, Eve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
See you.